All right. You should be able to hear it again. Man, I hate when I dislike when NVIDIA does their updates. Let's see. Change that. Let's see. Can I change? Does it work now? There we go. All these settings have to be changed. It's like, go NVIDIA. Why are you messing this up for me? Um, all right. There's Ernest. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's put it this way. It was an important update. I'm happy about the update. Um, it's just one of those things because NVIDIA is. I mean, it's a GPU, but obviously sound runs through it as well. And then I use NVIDIA Broadcast for like the a richer quality sound. Whenever I do the updates, like when it updates the drivers, it just seems like it. When it updates them, it pulls the. I have the basically so I have a Logitech headset that goes into NVIDIA Broadcast for more like noise canceling. So for some reason that link gets broken when it updates. So, but I'm okay with it. It's good. I don't mind the update. I'm excited for the update. Um, I am I'm going to support Jeff Bezos's space station next Tuesday. Um, you know, you guys know that I do like my gaming as well. You know, um, trading funds my gaming habit is what I like to say. So yeah, I'm excited. New release next Tuesday. Pretty excited about it. Both boys are in. I was playing with them last weekend or an open for it, so doing a little. I'll be doing a. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do a little bit, but I already know. Yeah, I already know I'm going to get. Basically, we're gonna do the Nadex presentation next Tuesday, and I know I'm not gonna look at a single chart the rest of the day. It's one of those things. It's a game that I've been following for 2 years. I haven't been following for 2 years. I played it once a year ago, and I've been following it. And then I got because I have Amazon Prime, which again, go Amazon Prime, right? Like go Amazon Prime. I'd signed up for it and then got into the close, like the alpha, because I have Amazon Prime. I was like one of the randomly saying like the people. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, the yearly subscriptions of Amazon finally paid off, right? So I was pretty excited about that. And I played it and I love the game. I thought it was a great game. And there's some guys that I haven't done a game with in years. I think it's been a group that, God, we've been around 20 years now. I haven't played with them for a while, so it's kind of like old friends get back together again. So it's kind of a it's a little social experiment. And the funny part is, many of us have children, right? Many of us have children now that are of age that they can be of an assistance. So Reese is like, but Dad, it's like $40. I'm like, buddy, if you're gonna harvest resources for me, I'll pay your $40 so you can get the game. I was like, but there's gonna be what was that called? Do you guys remember what it was called? Like after it's like not serfdom, right? It's like resident farmer or something like that. I don't know what it was called. It was like basically like I guess like after slaves were freed, right? Then they were like tenant farmers. Basically, basically when they were freed, they were given the right to maintain the land that they already had. Only they weren't slaves; they were free people, and they owned the land, and they were allowed to farm the land because that's at the time that's what they had done. But they were allowed to profit from it, so it was all their profits. It was to help start building an economy. And I forget what it was called, like tenant farmers. I don't know. I want to say tenant farmers but it's happened in other places as well. But I think that's what it was. But yeah, basically, I'm like, hey, listen, I will pay your way, but then you owe me. You're gonna be doing stuff for me. So I'm gonna be putting my kids to work next week. I told Reese, I was like, hey, buddy, don't tell any of your teachers this, but when you get home from school next week, you got 5 hours of gaming ahead of you. So yeah, so it's kind of one of those things. It's I'm putting my kids to work next week, winning Father of the Year for it. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm going to HEO hockey sticks, guys. Going to HEO hockey sticks. My kids are selling their souls for $40, and they are going to be harvesting materials for me, so I have to do less. It's how it's going to work out. But hey, it is what it is. All right, so markets are more or less dead. I mean, pound dollar is about the only thing moving at all. We're seeing a little bit of pound weakness, and there were some statements made earlier. Ireland is, obviously not the pound, but we've heard some comments. Wouldn't say anything is like earth shattering. There's nothing really major up here. Again, it's just kind of like the small nation kind of scenario. And again, the euro's up a little bit. Everybody's like, no, 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 we're weak. Everybody wants to talk about how they're weak right now. I was telling Todd, he's like, Todd was like, listen, the yen is done. It's getting destroyed. I'm like, no. I was like, Todd, you don't understand. I was like, with the whole Everguard thing, right? Because of that, the yen got a ton of strength. The yen doesn't want to be expensive. The yen wants to be as weak as they possibly can. Like they could have the best economy they've had in 50 years, and they're going to tell you how concerned they are about going further. Like they're an export nation. They have to have a weak currency. So yes, is there any surprise whatsoever that they're talking about today? It's like, oh my God, we're so concerned about the future, and there's risks, and yeah, it's bad, and Delta is horrible. Like that's what they have to do. That's them. Happens all the time. So, but the biggest thing today, obviously, is going to be crude oil. API number was like way off. Oh, I got rid of it. I forgot that I restarted. API oil inventory report. Let me pull it back up again. Pull it over here. There you go. So you can see huge miss in API. So hopefully there will be a good release. Give us some tradable setups. But unfortunately, I think a lot of the FOMC stuff is going to be jogging here with their economic projections. Everybody that basically pushed it off, last time I said, nah, we're going to do it this year, but we don't need tapering yet. Well, we're running out of it, this year, right? We've really only got 2 meetings to go. The December meeting is typically like block because there's just no volume in the markets. We're running out of time. If the taper's coming, it's coming soon. So are we going to get it today? Are they going to mention it today that we're going to start tapering? And what does that tapering look like? Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about what's changed, like the unemployment, like Todd's like, no, unemployment, everything's bad. Like, is it really? I mean, like unemployment, yes, unemployment is slightly higher than it was last year, right? Last year, right before COVID, it was at like 4.9, right? We're at 5.2, 5.6, something like that. People are like, well, it's not the same. It's like, yeah, but you know what? Last year before COVID, the number of people looking for a job was about 5 million, right? Or the working participation rate. Right now it's 5.9. So it's more people are looking for jobs right now. So that's a positive, right? Because remember, not everybody is counted in the unemployment number, but the number of people working looking for jobs, that is counted. So I don't know. And again, I think at this point everybody agrees that we will never see COVID zero, right? So it's here to stay. This is the new world. This is what it's gonna be. Is it gonna go to the same rate that it's going? Probably not. I mean, we'll get a grip on it more, but it will never disappear, right? Um, if it does disappear, if we do go to COVID zero, if next week they come up with a vaccination like chickenpox, like we never, you'll never have it again, and it's a thing of the past, right? Then they've been pulling the wool over our eyes forever, right? I'll be swinging my hammer for the gunner. Huh? Who's the gunner? Oh, the guy that was kicked out? That guy? Oh, yeah. I got him. I have so it's weird. Sometimes it works, Ernest, sometimes it doesn't work. So I have the screen, the software that I use to broadcast with. Sometimes it works. I can right click on the name and it gives me like a slide bar and I can do different things with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It worked today. So yeah, bad luck for Gunner. Oh well, buddy. 1234524. I'm sure that's a real account. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyway, so trading today, I think we have a little bit of oil fun. I think there'll be some fun this morning, but I think for the most part, I think all the drama is going to come after FOMC. I told Todd there's really not. I mean, my belief is there's really not that much more that we can. I mean, what else can they do? I mean, yeah, I mean, could they mention, hey, listen? I mean, if you look at what the biggest news is right now, I don't know that Delta is the biggest news right now. I feel like the biggest news now is everything with the Haitian refugees. I don't know. Like, I think that's. I mean, if you look at all the news, like when I look at like what's going on with the news, I feel like that's the bigger. I mean, obviously this is going to be the hottest financial news, but I feel like you turn the news on, that's all we're talking about now is the Haitian refugees. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But I don't think there's anything that they could say at this point to make things worse. Like, what are they going to say? Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, climate change is a big deal right now, right? Granted, we're in the fall, so yeah, it's not as immediate of a concern right now. And like I said, it's amazing how climate change can suddenly all come to a hilt when you have a scapegoat to blame in 4 years, right? Not that anything happened in the last 8 years or 10 years or 15 years. None of that mattered. It was everything happened right now, right? Yeah, no, that's not how it works. It's been a cumulative effect. Um, Ernest, slow those days, refugees crisis, save today. Yeah, Ernest, and that was it. And like I said, I'm confused by the whole Haitian crisis thing. I remember 4 years ago or 3 years ago, or whatever it was, Trump was the devil reincarnate for everything that he was doing to immigrants coming here and turning them away and sending them home and all that kind of stuff. And yet now I've been seeing memes nonstop of, Border Patrol people whipping people, right? I don't know. I mean, I haven't been following enough to really have an opinion on it. I'm just not sure how, like, some people are allowed to come here, but some people are not. But yet we're a country of equality. I don't know how that works. We'll take every Afghan refugee that wants to come here, but Haitians, you can go home. Okay, why are they being sent home if everybody's allowed? I don't know. I don't know. Not sure. I don't follow it enough. Um, like I said, you guys know my my disdain is the best word for it. We're living in interesting. I know, right? Like my disdain for hypocrisy, right? You guys know that it absolutely drives me up a wall. Trump is the devil, but yet we can do this to Haitians. And again, I don't know. Biden said didn't he say that Haiti was a major problem, right? But an asylum is to prevent people from getting in issues, and then I don't know. Like you say one thing and do something else. So I don't know. So I really don't know. But I also don't see. I don't know. It's amazing. I don't see 8 million people posting those memes talking about it now. All those same people that before were showing me the kids in the cages. Yeah, I don't. Those people are not posting right now. I don't know why. I'm not sure. I don't know what happened. Did they finally wise up and they don't believe in social media anymore? I feel like the woke people maybe are sleeping. I don't know. I feel like the same type of injustices are happening now, but yet why are they not talking? What happened to equality for all? World peace. Yeah, it was a narrative to get elected president, and yeah, now I don't know. Maybe it's just a scapegoat so we don't focus on Afghanistan anymore. Maybe that's it. Actually, Melissa told me the day she's like, "Hey, just saw an article. U.S. bombed or missiled a guy's SUV and killed 9 people. Not one of them was a bad person. we killed nine good people." It's like, oof. I was like, well, I guess if we're not in the country anymore, intelligence is not as good as it was before. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you say sorry to those. We all need one hobby to focus. I know, right? You're right. You need something. Anyway, Ernest, it's funny that you mentioned hobbies. I have my wife told me I have too many hobbies the other day because I have a lacrosse game tonight for my team, but I got invited to play on the older team because now I meet the exception to play with the old people. I'm excited about this because now I'm going to be one of the youngest people instead of one of the oldest people. I was like, woohoo! I love this. My buddy's like, hey, that means you're going to be one of the fast guys. I'm like, yes, I will, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. So, but she's like, you cannot play in 2 different leagues. I'm about to have a baby. I'm like, what? Like, you know, I was like, I am all about taking care of kids. I've given up so much to take care of kids. Like with Jen, I'm with her nonstop. But like the reality was, for the first 2 3 months, I didn't do anything. Melissa's a big believer in breastfeeding, all the benefits of it. I don't have boobs, guys. I can't breastfeed. you know, I can't help. I can hold her hand when she's doing it, but that's it. That's the level of my support goes there. So I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like I can't, like, I'm trying to exercise so I live long enough, right? And then complain about how I'm injured the next day for the next week. So anyway, so that's what we got today. Let's go across and look into some of these charts. Let's go into currencies. So there was a couple things in there. I had a nice little pop, and again, this was one. I think a lot of you guys got this one last night. The Aussie dollar. I don't have to put it on 15. We can see it on 30. You can see we had a nice push up, and there was a little zone there. Again, on the 15 was probably where you can see the best zone of it, sitting right there. Okay, I believe Ernest. I think you got this one last night. But again, easy parabolic retracement move, right? Pop straight up, right into a zone where we had a decent level base, one, and a pop back down again. So very, very strong zone. Obviously, it went to its 1 to 3 at this point. Not much we can say about it now. Is it a level where we could take another short off of it? Potentially, maybe. But again, we got to kind of get through the junk that's in the middle here. So I don't really go to 15s too much, but it was an easy one to kind of get a refined zone of that. You can see that the level we talked about the last couple days, the 72.23. Again, it hit it and blew off of it, hit it and went high again, came back down and missed it. So again, if you got an entry, great. If you didn't get an entry, you still got, you still ended up hitting full profit, even if I extended across from or this entry, which, again, that would suck if you were like, oh God, I was so close to profit, and then pulled all the way back down again. It never went negative, right? Once it hit once, you were good. But I think 72.23 is also is good. This is an old area of interest. You can see we can actually draw a new zone from the top of it up here. You can use that as a little bit better of an area. Price table right up here, right 72.76. So either one, you're good. Like I said, trade would have been the retracement on last night's position, but again, you were still good by taking any of the positions up top. All right. Also, again, similar position, although this one on the 15 really didn't have anything hidden in there. This news didn't provide much, but again, the level down here at 78.95, it's hit once, and again, did the same thing. Didn't get the full profit target, came down and then exploded through. 80 is still important out there. Right now, we're kind of sitting smack in the middle, and again, this is not at a 50. This was probably more at the 50, and again, we didn't get back up to it. So I would say right now, look for price to continue to drop back down. I think 78.96 is a level we're really looking for this one to come. Nothing right now. It's 37 pips down. There's not really a Harry Potter in here. I mean, I guess we could kind of draw one and be like, hey, listen, there's a zone right there. That's almost enough for the full amount. It is like 8 pips. So I mean, I guess if you really wanted to kind of force it, but again, I don't know. Is it the ideal AAA prime ultra special secret? No, no. But I did think it comes back down and we kind of push back into the zone, and then we'll see what time we bounce off of it. Euro pound. So Euro pound continuing to grind. This one had that little bit of a kind of a sideways and then pulled back down again inside of the channel, and people would be like, wait, and then it's back again. It's like, oh wait, hold on. So I think it's really throwing people for a loop. This one obviously, 86.09 was a level we watched out. We were looking for before, and there's a small level above. You can see that's what we're at right now. We kind of turn and bounce off of it. I'm assuming that this one starts to slow down and kind of basing. Starts the base. You know, I keep hearing a noise, but like Jen's not here. Jen is at school. I guess there's a small level in there too, but probably an area to watch out for. Let's see. Yeah, it's an old area of interest, right? And it got sliced through before. There's a small wick over wick in there. Let me see. Be a news level that I'd be interested in, but I don't know. Taking off some of these old ones. All right, so let across. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot up in this area, so 1, 2. Yeah, this is not the best. This is hit number 3, so any push above that, I think the next area of sellers is going to be up top. So 86.18, right? Besides that, let this thing run a bit. And again, this is going to have to be more of European strength. I don't think we're going to get that much pound weakness out of this one. So yeah, got a little bit of room to run. But again, remember the ATR on this one is very, very small. Just not offering a lot, right? Not offering a lot. So unfortunately, daily movement does matter. Euro yen, you can see, is doing the opposite, right? The other one is going straight up. This one is going straight down. And again, we had the 128.03. You can see that we literally just rolled right off the 128.03 back up again, and we're pulling back up in that level. Again, we talked about this Harry Potter was pretty deep, right? It hit the full profit target. You could have got into it because it was a 5th hit, but it did come back up. It did grab it. So if I take this and move this over to here, right? You guys can see we hit it and went all the way down. So it went well past. So again, you had two different ways to enter that one on the first hit or the second hit. The second hit was good, so I can delete all this stuff now and take that off. It's kind of a warning shot. We'll leave that shot right there. Um, Again, driving up. If this thing rolls, again, it is matching the euro pound. The euro yen is in the same situation. It rolled off 128.04. It's a level we've had on here for a while, really since August 19th. So this is not a surprise level. It did really push it. I mean, it did push it down to the brink. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I mean, it's I would say it's more set up for a rollover, just like the euro yen is, or I'm sorry, the euro pound. The question is, which one do we take it at? We're kind of like I said, we're running out of steam now. It's at 10 o'clock. That market's about to close. It's going to be more of a yen play than anything else. But I like 128.72. I think it's a decent bounce. And again, it kind of got turned around very fast here. It tried. So it may be more of the aggressive entry, but I think 128.72 is what we're looking for. After that, we got a bunch of room to go up top. Okay. Euro dollar. Euro dollar is dead. Euro dollar is 0 pips, right? 0 pips in 24 hours. Look at this. 0, 6, 7, 1, 3. 0 for this one. So really not a whole lot going on. We were looking for a breakout. We didn't get it. It popped up and it came right back down in the secondary candle. So we never got the entry for a Harry Potter. Even this where it popped up and came back down again, right back into the level, it really never even gave us a base. So unfortunately, this one is out. Never worked. We never got an entry for what we were looking for. Gave us everything we needed. It just didn't decide to go. It literally pulled right back again. So got to mark the new top again. It was a changeover. Actually, let me bring this down. Maybe there's a better. I was looking for that wick over there, but there is not one. It's about 9 pips, so it's decent. But I would say, I mean, I think this level is a decent short for FOMC. Reason why is because I think we're going to get some dollar strength out of today. If they hit us with dollar weakness again, it's like, my God, what are we doing? Right? News is coming in at what, 2 o'clock? Right there. So I'd be looking for, if we can be up at that level, I think it's 2. I think that gives us a good option to get short. Yeah, I mean, there's just no movement. It's just sideways. So this is going to be purely play for later. So if we do pull up, again, look for a bounce of this one right back down again. And again, will this level hold? It's touched. It's pretty deep. Like I said, at this point, it does have a confirmation. It is somewhat confirmed here in this position, right? It hit, it pulled back, it hit again, it did not go as low. So I would say it's a B rating. This would technically be like the third main touch, the fourth arguably touch, if you count the confirmation here. So how far away is it? Yeah, it's 35 pips. So little short duration contract. You see how much premiums in that one later on today would be the best way to take it. But I think overall, I think the next really decent level is 116.73 down below. For those of you that are out there that don't want to draw it, 117.40 up above. Okay. Pound yen, also boring as anything. And again, this one is pure. This is basically just consolidating in right now. It's getting close. It's springing, right? It's compressing. But yeah. Actually, let me see here. Let's do none. Let's look at the pound for the rest of the week. Thursday. So all their asset purchases is tomorrow. Looking down on flash services and PMI. This PPI output, input, all good. Well, not good, but like good for the currency. Not good for raising interest rates. Yeah, it's kind of set for a spring. If we can grind down to the 148.75 by tomorrow morning, I think that'd be a decent level to take that one long. What did she call her? My mom just sent me a message. My mom is I don't know if that was an auto spell. So there's a woman, Tasha. My mom like, "Are we meeting with tests today?" I'm like, "Her name is not Test, mom." I love my mother, but sometimes it's funny. Yeah, so I think 148.75 is probably the best area. Up top, we got a couple levels. I mean, we could draw a level here where the start of this base occurred, and again, we got the test off of it if we want to. Um, I think either for tomorrow morning would be decent. And again, you can see that that is supposed to be right here. Is it 4:30? What time is it tomorrow? Oh, it's 7 a.m. tomorrow. That makes it a little more interesting. Right there. All right, so this scenario will be this is what the scenario would look like. You can see when I bring it down because it's like that's not what the move looks like. The move would be like, yeah, just a little bit up. How many pips is that? That's 56 pips, so I guess it's probably more like that. Just shows you how much little movement. So yeah, European session, if it drives this high, look for it to hit one of those two levels. Actually, the way that as close as we are to this level, I would actually prefer if this one does this and drops down, and I'd like to get long the 128.74. I think that makes a little bit more sense. So I would be willing to kind of go that direction. All right, so let's go to pound dollar. Pound dollar is doing kind of the same thing. Now, pound dollar just missed a little bit of entry at 136.11. Normally I would say look for this one for that 1030 kind of reversal spot. But I'd say I'd be careful because, again, the pound dollar right now, the pound seems to be on the weaker side of things, right? The dollar, and again, we didn't look at the dollar index, but if you look at the dollar index, it's kind of flat, but it is quite high. You can see, just back to the beginning of September, it's been kind of more on a run up because of everything we're talking about with tapering. So this is kind of the same thing. I'd be cautious. There is a level here that we could go long from it, but I really feel like today, with the weakness we've seen in the pound, we have the euro pound being up. I feel like if the dollar strength movement comes in, I mean, I feel like we're going to start blowing through some levels, and there's a couple levels here, but again, this 35 one was pushed. Let's drop it to a 4 hour. Right. I mean, you look at this level here. Right, we're close. Right, we're close. This level was pushed all the way down to kind of this very, very bottom of that. So there's not a whole lot sitting in there. And then really the next stopping point is probably, I mean, on a 4 hour basis, it's going to be down here. Look at the level of basing right there. And then the touch, I mean, it's pretty good touch and pretty nice little bounce. So, I mean, there's your next 4 hour zone down below. So the question is, how much space is that? And again, 4 hour chart, guys, this one's going to be a lot bigger. That is 108 pips to the downside. Whew. It's possible, right? If they mention something about, tapering is going to start, and again, the dollar, I mean, watching the interest rate thing, I mean, I guess they can be really weak, but I mean, I just don't know how far they can kick the can down the road before they can no longer say this year, right? Um, ugh. I'd be willing to take a long off this. If news is able to drive this sucker down all the way into here, I think this would be a decent rollover point. It's a little bit far. It's 108. I'd be much more comfortable with like a 75 or 80 push to the downside. But again, if it is blockbuster news, this pair can move 100. What is the ATR now? Does that? Where's my ATR? 77 is the current. So yeah, so one ATR is really going from here to there. Ooh, that does put us right in that zone though. Oh, that's a good one. This is an interesting one. I think this one definitely has some potential today. Again, with anything that is strong dollar, I think that this definitely tanks more than the euro dollar does. And if we can get this thing to rally back up into one of these two levels, it wouldn't be bad either, right? I mean, I guess we'll see what the premium looks like at around 1 o'clock today, this afternoon. I don't know. Maybe this is the bounce of the morning. Maybe it came in a little bit early in preparation. So kind of hard one. Like I said, I think this one definitely has the potential to go farther. I mean, again, we had this arrow here, but I think from news at 2 o'clock, could we get down to here? Yeah, before all tomorrow's news. Yeah, I absolutely think we can go that far. So dollar CAD. Dollar CAD is now what? 17 pips back in the middle, right? So, we talked about it coming down. We ended up never getting the entry. We talked about 127.17. Didn't get that low. Kind of gave us a new basing level here. It's been a lot, typically I would mark that. I love this way that this candle formed. This is like one of my favorite candle shapes. But the fact that it rode along the top for so long before kind of peaking and then finally going, there's buyers there, obviously, right? Because they drove price higher. But the question is, are they going to hold? And how many are still left after it literally like based the cross here for so long? Um, it could potentially be an area where if price comes in there right at the deal time, we go long from it. The problem with this one is dollar CAD like spread differential sucks, right? The strike differential in Nadex sucks. So it's not always the ideal candidate for a news burst because they are larger. That would be the biggest problem that I have with this one. Um, the risk on this one is yeah, it's only 13, so it's not that much. And again, that this is red, so this is more for a short back down below. That would be a massive amount of dollar weakness. Oil's up right now, and this is holding. Let me see. Okay, oil's continuing to rise. Um, yeah, I mean, I like this one short, right? I like this one short, but I definitely think we could have a potential for a pop. This one may be one of those ones that you kind of jump over and you look at like if you're looking to really trade this one for news, maybe go over and look at call spreads. See if there's like a see if this is the floor on any call spreads, like shorter duration call spreads. Looking for a bounce and maybe a a quick capture. Um, I think overall, I do like it to go lower. I would like a breakthrough, right? I do like a break here. So again, if you want to set an alert for that one, go for it. I think it has room to run to about a 1 to 4.5, but your 1 to 3 is only sitting right there. So not a huge position. Um, But we'll see. If it pulls down, I think there's a potential long to go here as well. So, but again, this is not this is not a Nadex friendly pair. So, yeah, it's more of a spot one. So again, maybe take something short through the bottom. Dollar Swiss. Yeah, dollar Swiss is doing what? 16 pips. I guess that's a good day for the Swiss. But yeah, not going off of levels here is kind of an argue. A level we could argue. Again, touch base. It broke and didn't pull back to it. So not much we can do with it. Actually, let's move it forward. Let's bring it over here. Yeah, this is a 30-minute chart. So this one got adjusted higher. There's that one to the brink too. Yeah, go right off there. Right off of that one. By the way, that would be more of a profit target, not an entry, more than anything else. Just FYI for you people that are for you guys that are students. This is a target, not an entry. Um, yeah, there's not really much else on this one. I mean, there's little tiny small levels, but nothing that's going to stand up to an FOMC release. So yeah, nothing that's going to stand up to an FOMC release. Oh, again, let's check this guy out. So there's your initial push through that one. Obviously, there's a new kind of price level sitting right here. Got pretty close. Um, and again, strong push up in the morning. You know, still have this one here if we have a break. And we mentioned this one. We said that we could have one in either direction. It was either going to be a break or a bounce, and we look for the confirmation. This is not the ideal confirmation, right? When it hits, goes up, and then goes lower again. Kind of one of those ones where you're like, So I'd love to say that, hey, listen, guys, look, it went long. We got it. I told you right here. You're typically looking for the deeper push is the first one, and the second test is the one that goes off, right? You typically don't want it to bounce off the top and go higher and then push back into it again. Could you have taken it out? Sure, sure, you could have. Um, you could have dialed in on just this and said, all right, well, that's a new level of risk right there. I'm going to take this. Could you have done that? Yeah, and it got one candle above and it did pull back. So I mean, this is the pattern that I like, right? It's the deep push in, and then when it comes up and goes out, I'm looking for kind of that little piece right there, right? I don't like it this and then the deeper push in, not ideal. But had you taken it, you didn't get stopped out, right? So I mean, you could have argued like, listen, there we hit, right? You told me I needed a base. I got a base. It pushed back. I entered the trade there. You got into heat. It didn't stop you out of the position, and then the end result was higher. So it still would have worked, but it was not the ideal setup for what you wanted to do. And again, it would have been one of those ones where typically when you're looking for it to bounce, you do want it to push a little bit into the zone and then bounce higher because you want this little base at the bottom. You want to be able to draw kind of a newer term bottom, for lack of a better word, to like refine your risk. But had you taken this one with the fact that, hey, listen, Brian, you told me if it hits the level, comes up in bases, that I get long when it hits the level again. Yeah, it did. You would have taken some heat. You still made it to your full profit target either way. Whoops, not that one. So that one's kind of over with. And I would say where we are now, it's kind of looking like it's more set up for a short. It's running into some levels here. Again, nice push away. And again, sellers here, sellers here. So there's a couple levels right above where we are. Are they FOMC solid levels? I don't know about that. It depends on how big the FOMC notice is. And like I said, this is a funky one to play for FOMC because everything FOMC today is going to affect the indices. And if it affects the indices, it's changing the yen. And it's going to change the dollar. So, yeah, it's going to be one of those ones that's a little bit more challenging, for lack of a better word. Let's check out the indices and see what they are doing. Yeah, it looks like they're doing all right. Yeah, I mean, we just basically went solid. Again, the open didn't really go into much. I mean, I guess there was a small level it pulled back into. You had this level of basing here that as it was going up, you could have said, hey, listen, there's a level right there, right? And again, I don't think it's probably close. You needed to go all the way up, is what you needed to do. 1 to 3 is right. That's 308. So it did. And actually, it just hit your 1 to 3 off the open. So yeah, it wasn't bad. Like I said, it came right into that zone. You would have been able to grab that one with the yes. And it's been like this every day. So every day for like the last 2 weeks. But I would have profit targets before 43.85. We'll see if that offers an area where it's going to roll. And like I said, I mentioned it in Todd's presentation this morning. As it goes, I could see it before FOMC going higher. I just don't. I just don't really feel like they're going to be able to say much. That it's like no. You know what? We decided we're not going to taper this year. It'll be next year. Like for what? What justifies that? You know, like I don't. I really don't. There's nothing. And you remember there was a bit of a federal ceiling, or the debt ceiling's been raised to December, so you don't have to worry about the government not working, right? Um, there's no longer federal employment backing by the government. That cliff happened, so we should see more people in the jobs numbers coming forward. So there's not that. I don't know. I feel like there's just nothing. I don't know. I'd be looking for shorts going to that news release today. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe I'm just overly bearish with it, but I really feel like they just got to mention tapering. So, I don't know. Anyway, there was your opening trade for that today. Let's see what we had in the NQ if there was one there too. Yeah, I mean, there's what we drew with Todd's group. And again, the 9:30 candle dropped into it and took off. And again, this would have been adjusted here. Close. Maybe you would have gotten. Actually, you could have used either one. You could use that or the one just to blow. This is kind of the tested level. Either one, you're good. Either one, you're good. Yeah. So and it's over. It's 1 to 3. So there, another opening strike. There. So again, already passed it. But same thing. 15, 156, 75. Like that for a short as well. Kind of hoping it just rallies all the way up to there till 2 o'clock. And then we take it and we roll back down. Let's see. That would be right here at right there. All right. YM had it. Again, there's your kind of consolidation. This one would have been a little bit harder to grab. I mean, not that you couldn't have done it. right? There's your zone, right? There's your base, there's your test, and it got front run there. So could you have done the same thing? Yep. There you go. Obviously well out. Big question is what happens when we get to here. 34 1 1906 or 196, sorry, not 1906. So, yeah, nice little pull back in there and off to the races. Russell. Russell's is ugly. Oops. This. So it hit it, it dropped, it hit it, it dropped again. It came down, but it not really in a zone, I guess. That's 9. So 930 had already broken below that level. Didn't really give us a clean entry. So actually, there's 22. There's a refined level overnight. Yeah, so it went through. Um, mark some of these off, see if these give us opportunity for tomorrow. Pass reversal. They love any of those. Front run position for later. Reality is this is gone. That I'd like to find something here, but this is pretty ugly. Euro dollar did. Yeah, it's going early. Yeah, the question is, Ernest, do these sellers here now in that wick? And again, I you know how we draw it, right? It's here, and there's like kind of the retest. I was trying to grab the whole level to kind of encompass those in there, just to give us a little bit more room. Um, Top either. This is a junky candle too. Actually, that there. Let's see. It's 44 pips. That'd be a lot of movement this morning. That'd be a lot of movement. Yeah, we'll see what we can hold now. So, I mean, now's the big question because now we're in the wicks. I mean, like, look, that's the whole area, but there's the base. It's early. Yeah, it is early. All right, let's go across and let's see what gold and oil is doing. Oil basically dropped down and then went right back up, and we're on that same level right now. Um, it hasn't broken out yet. Okay, turn. It's okay. It's all right. All right in there. We'll see. I mean, it's not quite there. We kind of need to push a little bit higher. Yeah, we need to push a bit higher. Don't quite have the stabilization yet either. See. All right, let's go across the gold. All right, so there was your gold in the overnight. Gold is up 0.01, or I'm sorry, 0.08%. It's up $1. It's kind of right around. We talked about that 1776 number being a big number, that fib level. We're kind of stuck at it. It did pull back a little bit. This was a European session gold move, and again, we've seen this a lot of times at this point. European session started right here, and it drove gold straight down. And then U.S. traders got in, and they drove gold right back up again. So, I think I like gold long. This is a level. Question is, does the level hold, and what do we do with it? Get back up to 1800 today. I feel like I don't know that we're going to get the. I feel like they will just kind of gloss over the inflation aspect of it. I feel like they're going to turn all attention towards employment. Um, because again, I don't know. I mean, they're going to say that we're seeing the transitory inflation of things, but I mean, gas prices are still high. Um, Natural gas is coming down, thankfully. Oh no, it's back up. It's green again. Damn it! But it's not over $5 now, so that's good. Um, I don't know if this gold level can hold again for a short. Right? As much as I love to look at this on a purely technical basis and say, "Hey, I love this. This is great, best ever." Yeah, it's been hit and was European move that it used to go down. I'd love to be able to give you guys an entry on this one, but I just feel like we'll see where it goes before FOMC. I feel like it deserves to go higher. Feel like it deserves to go higher, but there's some small levels in here that it may roll and bounce. I think 1800 is where it should be. Um, I don't know, but I really feel like they're not going to mention the word inflation today. I don't know. Maybe they lead. Yeah, I don't really have. Like I said, the European session trade was the one that we should have taken on this one. If you didn't get it, it's a little bit late. Silver's already starting to roll, and again, picking up steam off that 21 or 2210. But then we knew we were in a racetrack. We didn't really have much able to slow it down, right? Weren't really able to slow it down until again up top. 2304 is where that level comes in. Again, I don't really feel like being short silver right now matters. The Wall Street bets is on the China thing right now. They're kind of off silver right now, but I do feel that silver needs to go higher as well. Not up to 100, but I really feel like if we get back up to that 24, it makes a lot more sense. But they're going to have to mention inflation and seeing inflation. So 23 is there, but I feel like we're unjustly a little bit low still for the price of silver. So yeah, for the release, I kind of wanted to go higher. Um, we'll see what it kind of looks like when we roll in a little bit closer. A little bit early for the silver as well. And let's go look at natural gas. There's a level. I don't know why. Oh, we had this for a Harry Potter. Yeah, we're looking for a short. So we're looking for a short on this one to go back down. Um, we're trying to find a level. We're really looking for this one to come back down to 455. Um, kind of retrace back. Right now, it's not doing a whole lot. I don't know. That would be a great little Harry Potter if that was the turning point. Although it's kind of big. Mm. So we do have to mark off this next level here. A little bit of ways down. Unfortunately, this one's kind of boxed in right now. That area of interest did hit, but let's go ahead and mark this. Barents, I probably should mark that too. There. Yeah, I don't know. This one's going to move a ton today on oil. I think there's too much going on today. I think either the two levels will work for tomorrow. I mean, I think the $5 mark obviously is going to be a big psychological number. I think we watched that one, and again, on a purely technical basis, I would say, hey, listen, you got to watch it. There's some buyers there, right? Pulled up base, gave us a little confirmation entry higher, and then ran into some sellers. It's a level you kind of got to watch out for. Maybe for inventory tomorrow, if we haven't broken through, we can take that. But I think for two potential inventory numbers for tomorrow, and again over there, um, I think we look at one of them being 47, right, 4.7, and the other one being down here as a potential area for a reversal as well. So I think either of those two levels are decent levels to go along for natural gas. Dogecoin is up. TLT is still hovering around, and let's see what it's doing. Let's go across the oil. Yeah, oil still kind of holding in that zone, huh? Yeah, we got 5 minutes on that one. A bad push down. Let me see how jacked up Nadex is. So Todd's like, this is a short duration binary contract. I was like, yeah, unless Nadex has made this the strike with like, $8 again. Todd's getting tired of me complaining about the strike with, I think. But I did get that message. You guys saw it. Adam sent me back. He's like, I'll have my team work on this right away. You're absolutely correct. I was like, wait, what? Did they just say that I'm right? I don't believe it. All right. Yeah, the 20s are there. I hate the 20 pip strike. I hate the 20-cent strike with. Um, 71.20 is kind of a big drop. Yeah, there's a lot of premium in today. Yeah, me too. What are you saying, Neuro? What are you saying? Gonna require 40 cents worth of movement. What do the dailies look like? Let me see. I hate the fact that the dailies are this. Thing is, they're just screwing themselves here. Like they don't get it. Like they have, let's see. Uh, yeah, they have binaries, a daily binary up at $75. Like we're gonna get a $4 movement. I mean, could it happen? The chances are basically slim to none, right? It's a slim to none chance of that one happening, right? And even this one right now, I mean, right now where price is, we're smack between a 40-cent price difference, right? The indicative is right around 71.80. The above binary is at 72 and the below is at 71.60. So I mean, there's a 71.20, but 71.20 is what time is it? Kind of down there. It's kind of far. Kind of far. Oh, let me check the cost spreads. That's what I was talking about. Commodities. Let's see. Crude oil. Uh, there was a 71.75. Mm-hmm. There we go. There was a 71.75. So we had go. Would have been better if it was a little bit higher. 71.50. Hold on one sec, guys. Um, yeah, there's nothing on the dailies either. So really, the only thing is even remotely close cost spread wise was the 70.25, the 71.75, on that shorter duration contract. And again, we're kind of sitting right above it right now. Nadex is a couple cents higher, but That was kind of the best one. It wasn't the ideal setup on that one. Knockouts, I'm sure there's, you know, no, the closest thing is 72.25, all the way up here. 72.25 is the closest top. The closest bottom. Oh, by the way, there's your 1 to 3. It's out already. It gapped all the way down. So let's see what the oil number was. But look at that. Price gapped all the way past. So you're out. So there you go. Um, that was easy. Look at that. Almost as expected. Look at that. Almost as expected. But they expected the big miss. But yeah, so there you go. Look at that. Out at your 1 to 3. So, so that nothing but manipulation. All right. The ages. I did. I looked at those, didn't I? Quoro 8 to 2:30. Yeah, there's a 7150 earnest. It's you're talking about 25 cents away. It's a big. It's we were looking to get in more up here at the 7180 ish. The 7150 being all the way down here, right? That's quite a. You're giving up all that as far as risk goes, right? Like I said, the initial move has already happened. It already blew past. It's trying to come back now, right? So yeah, more of a call spread kind of day. So, but yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and do the drawing. Like I said, there was another example of the news based strategy, and again, nice little hiccup and drop past the binary that I was looking for. Um, required. Where is it? It was the 10. It was which one? We started with the. It was the 40. Yeah, the 7140, which I thought was a little bit far. So, but we'll see. It's well on its way. You can see over here it's at the 47 mark right now. The 7140 would have been right here. 7140 at what? 12 o'clock? I said 12 o'clock. Oh, 12 o'clock's all over there. 7140 at 12. There. Um, actually, I did look at. Did I look at one of these? 71. Yeah, it was on the fifth. It was on the fives. So, but yeah, I mean, there it is. I mean, I don't know what to say. There you go. There was your setup for the day. And like I said, that call spread I think was the best one in there, Ernest. I mean, it's down what now? Right? From we got up here, we were a bit out of the money, right? But from the at the money here, it was a push of about 30, what, 35 down. So I mean, you're well beyond your 1 to 3. So yep. All right, so let's go ahead and do the drawing. Actually, let me take a quick snapshot of that. All right, so 7 tickets in. Will is on a 2 week a 2 day strike or a 2 day winning streak, right? So Will is actually, if he wins today, it's 250. Everybody else wins, it's 850. Briggs is in. Ernest is in for 2. Will goes, bam! I was just about to comment, Will. I'm like, dude, how you're going for 250? This is house money. How are you only putting in 1? So good job, Will. We can skip today's mentoring session. You got it on this one. If Will doesn't win, again, that's called statistics. It happens, but you have to give yourself the best chance of winning. But it's only costing you, 40 pip chips. You won 100 yesterday, so you're still well above what you are. All right, so let's see how it works out. Here we go. Right here we go. Survey says, is statistics on Will's side, or do one of the other winners out there today have Han Solo's luck? It's kind of what we're doing here. Is someone going to win with the Force, or is statistics and you know science on Will's side? Winner of today's drawing is it is obviously the Force. Okay, obviously Briggs today he had 3, he got 50 on it, so he was net positive today. He can check that box off. He stopped Will. Will's like, but I lost 40. Will's like, I lost 40 pip chips today. It's like, yes, Will, but you are still up. You had your 25. You had your what? Your 25 and your 100. So you're still up like 85 pip chips, Will, from where you should have been if you never won at all. So don't think of it as a negative, Will. Think of it as a pot. Yep, you're still up. Good job, Will. You're still up, right? You did the right thing, Will. I know it didn't bring their desired result, but you did the right thing today. Briggs, money management wise, it worked. He won. He risked 20, right? He risked 20 to make 50. So, a little 2.5 to 1. That's not bad either. It's not horrible either. So let's give this man what he deserves. Let's see. I'm not sure where you're on the list, though. Let's see. Copy, leaderboard. Where are you at? Position 42. So let's go down 25, 42. Let's give you your 50. And that should have jumped you back up. There you go. 32. 117. So look at that. You got room to play. All right. So, with that said, that is it for us today. Yeah. We will be back on tomorrow. Dollar CAD's about the only thing moving, again, because of that data. But everything else is flat. So watch FOMC. Yeah. I don't see any other big news out there. Yeah. Let's see. One more hit. Let's see if we get anything else. No. Not getting anything else out there. Nope. No other news. Existing home sales recedes a bit. Yeah, which always is not uncommon. So, all right, guys, watch out for the FOMC. Again, you can trade it the same way that we just traded oil. Watching those things drop. So that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later. You guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.